Long ago, two races ruled over the earth, humans and monsters. One day, war broke out between the two races. After a long battle, the humans were victorious. They sealed the monsters underground with a magic spell. Many years later, it is now 2015. Legends say that those who climb Mount Debit never return. Our adventure has delivered us another curveball, and down we go, descending into the world of the underground. Thank you, Toby Fox, for this absolute masterpiece. That's right, we're all over the decade in review for Undertale! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. I'm your host, the Game of Minecart, and today we're celebrating fucking rapping. Pardon me. I'm your host, the Game of Minecart, and today we celebrate a decade in review for Undertale. How is this game 10 years old? If you've somehow never heard of this game, yet found my channel, may I refer you to this image? Go watch a playthrough before watching this video. Spoilers ahead if you somehow have no spoilers. Anyway, I think we should thoroughly get on with this absolute piece of peak that is the masterpiece of the game. This is already going to be a 30-minute video. It flooded the internet with memes, content, and entertaining buffoonery.
Hey Papyrus, I burnt the water.
So without further ado, it's fitting that we begin with... Where do I fucking begin? I guess the main thing would do. In Undertale, you play as a human who tripped on a root and fell down a hole. In this world of monsters, you don't play as yourself. I mean in battles, that is. In the game, you are your character. We'll get to that bitch later. But in the battle mode, you play as a heart. This fucking shit. This is your soul, and it's very important to the lore. This heart is also your life. So if it gets hit, you take damage. Get hit too much, and... yeah, but that won't happen, right? Right. Anyway, this heart is a simpler mechanic than one would think, because it uses WASD to move and is simple. Ignore that! Next is the other shit. Speedrun. In many fights, there are character-specific mechanics that make the fight difficult. In Toriel's fight, you must avoid basic hands and fireballs. In Papyrus's fight, you either get an introduction to the bone mechanics with the blue meaning stop and white meaning away from the blue and the blue heart, or you date him? I don't know, it's weird. In Undead's fight, you were introduced to the green heart and the shield mechanic, along with the spears, which act more as heat-seeking missiles. Flowery in Azrael's fight, happiness palette. In Omega Flowery's boss fight, just try not to die, there's no strat. In Asgore's fight, he and his trident try to final boss you into submission, with orange meaning to move when he slices and blue meaning to not. Finally, in Santa's fight, also dodge. The classic moves to fight, act, item, and mercy are there, except you cannot mercy Asgore or Sans, because Sans literally says, you didn't say the magic word, and Asgore destroys it. There are honestly so many mechanics in this game that are individual to every character that I can't put them all here. It would take too long, and this video can't be 3 hours, because I'm already a month along with... I'm a month away from releasing this video, and I've done literally fucking nothing, so I gotta get this shit done. Just like with mechanics, there's too many, so I'm just going to gloss over them so we aren't here for another week. Let's start with the first few. Flowey the Flower, your best friend, is actually a psychopath who acts like a 6-year-old, because he probably is. He gets thrown to the wolves by Toriel, or as the entire community calls her, Goat Mom, who takes us, Frisk, or Kara, into her home at the entrance to the underground. We meet the dummies and the peak napstable. Quick editor's note, at this time I forgot the ordering of events in Undertale. I thought that we went to Toriel's house and then the main section of the ruins, but that is the opposite of what happens, so ignore the fact that we go out of order for a teensy bit of time. Before leaving our home and meeting Sans, the comical relief of this game, and Papyrus, his brother, who is the menace man who wants to join the Royal Guard and tries to capture us many times and it doesn't work. We enter and leave Snowdin, deal with Papyrus's buffoonery, and then now we're out of order, at least I think. We meet Undyne, the fish girl who is head of the Royal Guard, Alphys, who is the royal scientologist of the underground and has a crush on Undyne. Metaton is a showman robot menace built by Alphys with a dead soul, and he ships Undyne and Alphys. Royal Guards, big doggy, blah blah, and we end off with Asgore. He's the ruler of all monsters in the underground and vows to destroy humanity and escape the underground. Flowey is also this guy that we'll get to later. Whee! I got psychopath. Ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-boo. This game plays great for a game this old. The controls are masterful, basic, and don't require too much skill to learn at first, and the game takes so long to play that there is more than enough time to learn the controls before any important boss fight. Plus, there are 3 endings, so you have replayability on top of the controls. It's not like the basic controls take away from the experience either, because it feels super smooth compared to a certain other game I just did a video on. Plus, there's a lot of dialogue, so you don't have to AFK to catch your breath after stressful fights. Other than that one. Sure, it's all manual save, but that's not much of a problem unless you're trying to do a no-save run like an idiot. It's glorious. The story of Undertale is a complicated and honestly kind of sad one. Humans and monsters lived peacefully with one another for thousands of years, and then canonically crossbred occasionally, until one day, when a human accidentally kills Asriel, Asgore's son. See? I told you we'd get to him later. Why the fuck do their names sound so similar? Asgore has an ego or something. Overwhelmed by grief and rage, Asgore declares war on humanity and guarantees he'll make them feel the same pain Asriel felt. Toriel, who technically is the ex-queen of the Underground, horrified by her husband's actions, divorces his ass and separates herself from the war. However, the monsters, along with Goat Mom, lose a generations-long war and are sealed by magic underground underneath Mount Ebott, where anyone who hikes is never heard from again. Ever since then, Asgore has vowed that he will take the souls of any human who enters the underground and use 7 of them to become a fucking god and destroy humanity. By the time we fall down, 6 of the souls have been gathered by Asgore and the Royal Guard. Why the hell are they rainbow colored? We have the possibility of playing through 3 different endings: Pacifist, Neutral, and Genocide. In Pissy Fit, we spare every creature we can until the very end, when Asgore, Toriel, Undyne, Sans, Alphys, and Papyrus all show up during the near fight with Asgore. Another editor's note. Okay, so, quick thing. Flowey does not become Omega Flowey in here. Using the 6 souls, he gets his body back as Asriel, and then we fight Asriel in the true pacifist ending. I forgot this and said what happens in the neutral endings as what happens in both the neutral and pacifist endings. That is not what happens. So, technical error on my part, my bad. Flowey takes this opportunity when we're all distracted to steal the 6 souls we just fucking saw and become a god. He does a 4th wall breaking monologue, breaks our save file as well, and puts us under the hardest boss. Photoshop Flowey. Or Omega Flowey if you're not a fucking coder. If you die, you don't get a break, you come the fuck back. Welcome to hell. Through this fight, the pixelated art style of the game fucking disintegrates into this fine gore mess until this. The souls begin to rebel, giving us the boosts, damage Flowey more, and eventually, they become independent again, and beat the ever-loving Flowey gets whooped back into Asriel mode, we whoop Asriel, and the yippee happy ending in the underground, or on the surface if you get true pacifist. In Noob Trail, you play however the hell you want. Kill some, spare others, Asgore gets to break the mercy button, Asgore boss fight, spare Asgore with the broken button, kill Asgore, Flowey yoinks the souls, take the 6, Omega Flowey, beat his ass! Spare Flowey a shit ton of times, walk through the exit, you get a call from Sans explaining how the underground is doing. Depending on what you did, you'll get different calls. How much coding did that take, Toby? Yippee, unknown ending. In Gemini, everyone will die. Toriel, Nabstablook, Papyrus, Undyne, everyone. If you encounter them, they will be turned to dust. In this specific ending, you enter the Judgment Hall. You walk down and see a friend you once knew. Megalovania. The Sans fight becomes the most lore-filled scene in the entire game. He knows why you're doing this. He understands your motive. You can't hit him. He gave you warnings not to go down this dark path. He knows how many times you've died. He laughs about it. He knows who'll lose eventually. You have too much determination. But he makes jokes about it. Until it's finally... over. Sans is defeated. You blitz Asgore and put Flowey back into the earth, and end the game with Kara taking over both the underground and the human world, presumably, with all 7 of the souls. Yippee. Bad ending. The story can go 3 ways. There's even an all... Yes! Yes! Yeah, I love this music, holy fuck. Undertale has single-handedly the most iconic soundtrack in video game history. You've heard a song from it. Even if you don't know, you have. Songs like Fallen Down, Ruins, Sans, Bone Trousel, Spider Dance, so temperate. And many more are used in a shit tons of videos all across the internet, even in places you wouldn't think they should be. Even the most unused songs in this OST are good. If you disagree, click away, because that's the whole background of this video, bitch. There are 101 songs in this fucking game. And around the same time, probably around 3 months later, because I'm a procrastinative little bitch and sophomore year starting up, this was releasing, I'm ranking every single fucking one of these bitches. So, look out for that one. Also, this OST's fucking peak. Once Upon a Time, Your Best Friend, Battle Against a True Hero, Save the World, Death by Glamour, Dating Start, Dating Fart, Asgore, Hopes and Dreams, Shop, Song that might play when you fight Sans, Bird that carries you over a disproportionately small gap. Every song is peak. Although there is one I'm missing right now. The background of this segment. The final boss of Undertale's genocide route. The most well-known song on the internet. Some would call it the immortal song. Megalovania. This song! Oh boy, where do I begin? Megalovania is the most popular song in existence. It has lasted 10 long years on every platform, and despite attempts by every person ever, it is yet to be modified in a way that sounds bad. Swapping beats 2 and 4? No problem. In swing? Easy. Fused with bone trousel? Beautiful. Have anxiety? Issue resolved. Cancer edition? Cured. Acapella? Preach. Remix into oblivion? One more couldn't hurt. It never ends. It is the immortal song. You can do what you want, you can damage what you want, you can take away what you want. It will always be fire. Sans, you have truly outdone yourself. Yeah, take a nap. Oh shit. 3 endings, 3 categories. I get to speak now, yet! The speedrun leaderboards of Undertale are small in comparison to the other games, but massive still. Housing 3 primary categories in True Pacifist, True Neutral, and True Genocide, with meme categories that spread like absolute wildfire, because all meme categories spread like absolute wildfire. These games are some of the most interesting kinda speedruns to watch, and despite my crappy Undertale skill, fun to play. I don't know much about Undertale's specific mechanics, but I do know about Genocide Route's strat of walking round and round and around the grass in the ruins and killing everything you encounter. So you get, like, more strength and HP and shit and all that fucking fun stuff, and you do that in every zone, not just the ruins. What the fuck was I doing when writing this script? It's an RNG strat, but As comes with most video games, what do you expect? And because I can't get enough of pain and suffering, I will be making a video about that kind of thing and the genocide route later. So stay tuned for that one. 488 runs on genocide. More content than a mystery box. What? Undertale is the game of 2015. It contains infinite possibilities for memes, 20 delicate hours of content if you're not speedrunning, lore beyond what anyone could possibly imagine. It's truly a great game. It's a retro game, but a full one. Put this on an NES and you won't survive, or rather the NES won't survive. This game could survive 10 years and still be one of the highest rated games on Steam. And that's something the Fox should be very proud of. Oh, fuck you, Stardew Valley. The best game to come out, just as a whole. If I were to get into every smidgen of detail this game has, I would be maxing out 44,000 time limits on YouTube's video duration. This game, or should I say, this Picasso piece of pixelated beauty, is one thing I don't think anyone would ever recommend another person to sleep on. I beat the neutral, genocide, and pacifist endings before making this video. The only reason that I am not using my own footage and I'm using Crow's Graveyard's footage, link to him in the description, of course, along with everything else, is because I recorded the wrong screen during that entire session, and I am not putting myself through Undertale on controller ever again. No, thank you. Undertale has so much to offer even after all this time. And I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. It will stay as the eternal game for at least another decade or two, I'd say. Plus, there's more coming from good old Toby, so don't think this is it for these kinds of videos on set. This is this series first. 10 out of 10. But we don't get a credit scene just yet. No. We have escaped the underground after a painstaking 5 hours! Our friends are either dead or never want to see us again. The souls are freed, and I'm sure we'll see them again in a future adventure because we have such good luck. Our new home awaits us, now rid of the old hallucinogenic discs that were presumably planted by an old friend. As we sleep, we see a vision. A memory, one could say. But not one we ourselves experienced. He will put us back together. Welcome to FNAF World, and thanks for watching.